Hallo, Michael Adams für Stock-Telegraph von der PDEC. Ich bin heute etwas mitgenommen. Ich war gestern auf einem Toronto Raptors Game. Das ist Basketball. Es war mein erstes Basketball-Game ever und war aber wirklich interessant, muss man sagen. Das ist ganz anders als deutsche Sportveranstaltungen. Also ich kenne ja den FC Köln verlieren oder auch manchmal gewinnen und es ist wirklich ganz anders. Wenn Sie mal drüben hier sind in den USA oder in Kanada, gehen Sie auf jeden Fall zu irgendeiner dieser Sportveranstaltungen. Hockey habe ich jetzt schon gesehen. Ich habe, wie gesagt, Basketball jetzt gesehen, Football noch nicht. Und ja, Baseball war ich einmal, das war also jedenfalls nicht mein Fall. Damit aber nun zu Canarc. Ich habe wiederum den Catalin Chiloflischi bei mir. Es gab jetzt eine ganz gute Entwicklung. Wir hatten ja schon im Januar gesprochen und da wollte ich jetzt mal gucken, was es jetzt gerade seit den letzten 2 Monaten nochmal neu gab. So Catalin, thanks for taking the time again to talk to me. Exciting times at Canarc.
Absolutely.
Last time we talked in Vancouver, which is only like 6 weeks ago, but since then there was another steps. Yeah, you finished. So can you just give us an update on this?
Absolutely, pleasure to do so, Michael. Nice to see you in Toronto. Looks like Toronto now it's warm, unlike
That's
Toronto
really,
in this time, which is
Yeah,
good to
definitely.
see. So
We had
everybody,
14 degrees yesterday,
exactly,
right?
and the sentiment in the gold market seems to be warming up
Yeah.
too, so which is hopefully a good thing. But let's get back to Canarc. I mean, Canarc has been on a mission to get things done since basically mid last year, and we've had a series of advancements. We bought an asset in Mexico. We got through economics of the project. We got through a significant agreement with the government to get a mill, and then very recently, as recently as last week, we closed about $2 million in private equity.
Right.
Private placement, sorry, that was needed for working capital, and on Monday we've actually announced $10 million financing for the project with a very good group from New York who has.
But that's debt financing.
That's debt financing, correct, right? So now basically, we are looking at the situation where we are getting ready to production.
Right. And that's all the funds you will need to
That's
go
all
to
the
production.
funds. That's exactly all the funds that we would need to go to production. Right now, we've begun the due diligence with the lender, the technical and legal due diligence.
Okay.
And that should take about 2 months. So we expect that in about 2 months, we would be able to come back to the market with some news and hopefully, the money in the bank to get going.
Okay.
If we want to remind investors about our project in Mexico, we are located in Zacatecas, which is the largest silver producer in Mexico. We actually have a gold project with some silver. We will be one of the lowest producers that you can find these days, in the range of $600 all-in costs.
Right.
So at today's prices, we will make very healthy profits. The amount of capital required to get everything up and running is about $8 million US. So not a lot of capital. Project is fully permitted, both at the mine site and the mill site. We are looking at a very prolific district there with lots of upside potential. So I think a lot of things that shareholders should look forward to.
Yeah.
The current gold price has been definitely helping, but just to remind everyone, our economics have been demonstrated at $1,100 gold and showed very robust numbers. IRR in the 100% range, which is unheard of. All-in cost $600, cash cost $500, capex $8 million. That was all done at $1,100 gold. We already have another $150 more right now per ounce. That goes directly to the bottom line.
Right.
Since we've done that, we probably added at least $10 million more in net cash flow on the project, which is great.
Right. Yeah.
So
and we talked about the Mexican peso, US dollar, right? So
Yes,
that's also an advantage. But
Absolutely.
this leads me to a question. Now that we have this positive development for you, at least, not
Yes.
for the Mexican, but do you plan something like a currency hedge? You could do that.
Look, we are a mining company, right? And if we go into hedging, it's a totally different business. We can definitely work with experts to evaluate that. I think it's an interesting concept. It comes with a cost, right? If you do a hedge, you have to pay something for it. And if the price doesn't change, then you've lost all the money. But if the price changes, then you are making money, right? So it's really a matter of looking at the economics of that and some scenarios, and we'll probably get some advice on that.
Okay.
From the people that are doing that for a living.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You take care of the gold, right? That's risky enough for
Exactly.
usually.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
right. So but
give
it's
us
a good point.
Yeah. Give us a little bit more of a concrete timeline. So you said
Sure.
it's like 2 months before the due diligence might get finished, and then you get the 10 million.
Yes.
So timeline-wise, what are the next concrete steps after you get the 10 million? What's the next step for you?
So the very next step after we got the $10 million secured, which we feel very good about right now, because the group, it's a real group in New York. They've already done a lot of work. They've looked at the project, they've approved the project by their credit committee. Now they have to do the formal and final due diligence on it. But the moment the money are available to us, we would go and round up our management team in Mexico. We have already a very experienced DM, and we've kind of pinpointed all the good key players of the Mexican team.
Okay.
We were actually very fortunate to pick the best people from La Negra mine in Mexico, which is, some investors may remember it. It was a cash cow for the company, which was Orcana at the time. I mean, fortunately things didn't go well because Shafter, which was the second project, sucked up everything, and the company ended up losing the best asset. But when that happened, the lender who owns now the project pretty much let go most of the people late last year, and worked very well for us because I've known those people. They are living around our project, and we can now pick from the best. So very first thing we'll do as soon as the financing is secured, we'll get our management team and our operation team together, and then we begin to spend money. We expect that it's going to take us about 6 months to get the mine fully developed, ready to produce, and within those 6 months, 3 of those 6 months would be the activities needed for the mill, some small refurbishments and things like that. So, we are really forecasting 6 to 9 months just to be on the safe side, which puts us maybe hopefully to produce at the end of this year, very late this year, probably like December. So I think investors should expect, us generating cash January of next year. Which is a good.
That's very good.
It's good timeline. So it's a very simple project. I mean, it's small, simple, straightforward. In the best place in Mexico, it's unlike other complicated projects. This is a straightforward one.
Okay. And what's your feeling about expanding the project? So will you do that simultaneously with going into production, or will it be like the next step after the production is established? So what's
very good question.
strategy?
I mean, the plan right now it's to produce about 20,000 ounces of gold a year for about 7 years, based on the current resource. The resource is primed for expansion. There is very little drilling that has been done, so we feel very good about the upside potential. So the goal is to put all the money back into the ground and increase the resource. We can actually almost double the production from at the mill with very little capital. And why is that? It's because the mill that we have right now has a nameplate capacity of 500 tons a day, but everything about the mill, it's 1,000 tons a day, except the ball mills. So by adding another ball mill and making some small changes, which would range in the range of $1 million or $2 million, we could double production.
That's cool.
And the mine, as soon as it's developed, can sustain that kind of level of production because it's a very wide ore body. We'll have a lot of faces, so we could, decide to double production, but that will not happen until we are completely, through 20,000 ounces a year for a good period of 6 months, let's say, and then we would look at expansion. We want to do it step by step and doing it right.
And I read that, I think that was published like maybe a month ago, and that was together with your trip to Mexico. You took some investors down there.
Yes.
And there was also some, I don't know, some newsletter guy or analyst, and they wrote a really long article from the site visit. Was that Seeking Alpha, or who was that?
I think it was picked up by Seeking Alpha. It was published, I think, by Palisades Capital.
Palisades, because I met that. So I'm going to link this. It's definitely worth reading it because it gives you another view, and they were especially talking about how delighted they were talking to your people on the ground, how they know the area inside out, and so that it's really good to give you way more confidence. And if you don't believe Catalin, if you don't believe me, read that article. It's really outstanding. So.
I think it's a good one. They provide a factual reality check and in a funny way, but practical way, which is good.
Okay. So thank you very much.
Okay, thanks, Michael.
Again, yeah, I keep my readers and viewers updated. Right.
Excellent.
Next time, I don't know when we have the next time a chance to do a video interview.
Yeah, probably
but
in
if something
April.
really,
Yeah.
if something really comes up, we can always do one on the internet instead of personally.
Excellent.
Perfect.
Thank
Take
you.
care. Thanks. Good luck.
Thanks. Bye bye.